Welcome to Artless Nap.
Welcome back to Artless Nap. I am Anthony Pego, your host, and we still have Dee and Nicole, and we have Marie, who is the owner of Wine and Palette. She is technically one of my bosses. I guess I'm contracted work.
The nice boss.
Yeah, she is the nice boss. Yeah. So tell everybody what Wine and Palette is.
Wine and Palette is a paint and sip company. We are mobile. We'll bring the party to you wherever you'd like. We start with a blank canvas. We create a distinct, unique piece of art that you get to make your own. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Shoot your voice over here because we've got the microphone right here. Yeah. And so out there we were talking about there's a wedding coming up, and I think Dee's gonna help DJ.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
We talked about that earlier in the
Halloween.
podcast. Yeah. What do you guys think? Are you gonna show up? Do you usually go?
I help her.
You do?
Yeah.
When I have to haul equipment,
Yeah.
she's my stage.
I'm
mate.
usually the muscles.
Okay.
Oh, that's not true. When you have to haul stuff, I help you haul your
And
stuff.
thank God it's going to be in October.
Right.
So
It'd
it's
be
not
nice
as
and
hot. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I smashed your fingers.
And you guys can dress up if you want.
Oh,
Actually, I
heck yeah.
encourage it.
We were Jack and Sally for our wedding.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, so my husband obviously wants to be Jack.
Oh.
But with a different take on it. And me, I'm going to be the bride. But
Corpse bride?
No. I have a black wedding dress from our first attempt at getting married in like 2009.
Awesome. Wow.
Where he got the first blood clot. I was in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And we had a destination wedding planned. And now, that didn't happen.
And then he spent 9 days in the hospital.
Yes. And that was Greece. And I was so excited. Thank God for trip insurance, right? Because we already prepaid for everything. And my wedding invitations had already gone out. And I wrote the most beautiful Halloween poem.
Oh, wow.
So this time I'm not doing that. This time my son was here for a couple weeks visiting me after he got out of school from Arizona. And we decided, we have Grandma's Ouija board. We decided to kind of theme the invitations around that. So now they're basically going out like flyers and, this place holds 600 people. So now it's a huge like party.
Right.
Yeah.
Halloween party. When Wine and Palette had our studio down in Midtown, we used to have the best parties we ever did were our Halloween parties.
Yeah.
But obviously that was still when, we did his Wayne, like the
Ghoul thing.
Yeah, the Halloween parade.
We had talked about that earlier.
Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
Right.
And we had the perfect view. I mean, our Halloween parties were massive. We just decided to, reincorporate that. That's what I'm saying. Like, go back to our resources.
Halloween's
Let's have
the best, man.
Halloween
You
is
can
the
be
freaking
whatever
it's the
you want,
best holiday.
whoever you want.
So me, in my younger years, I worked for Disney for like 13 years. Wedding coordinator, just worked beverage, banquet manager, alcohol, whatever. Decided to take advantage of all of that. So I have like 3 people, my maid of honor, bridesmaids, everybody. So it's kind of a little Disney theme. So my dress, I'm not doing anything super funky, but I'm going to tie some like my favorites into it. And then my bridesmaids, some like Disney stuff, but kind of spooky, like our own. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Do you guys have any feelings on the supernatural? I mean, have you seen ghosts or UFOs, or do you think that this is an interesting topic, or for fools? Like,
Ghosts? Yeah. I've seen ghosts.
Yeah? What, come on.
Oh, well,
Axel?
I don't know if I should go into that.
Oh, please do. That's the one that I want to hear then.
Okay, well, many, many moons ago, I was married to a guy named Jason, which you guys might know. And his sister was doing something that she wasn't supposed to be doing, and Axel came and told me that she was doing it, and I woke my husband up at the time, and I said, hey, your sister's doing this, and he was like, pshh.
But you gotta explain who Axel is.
Axel is his dad, came to me in my sleep, and we weren't talking to his sister. We didn't talk to her for 2 years because she went crazy on us.
Okay.
And this was a time whenever we didn't talk.
Yeah.
And
How long
Was
Axel
the
passed
dad
away,
alive?
Paxel,
Or he was dead?
Axel passed away in probably like 93, 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
And I never met him. I never met Axel once.
Oh.
But I was woken up in bed. It was like I was being shook.
Were you living like in that house since you got married?
No, but Jason was laying next to me in bed. Maybe maybe that was enough.
Okay.
But it was crazy to me that he was just like, I am so mad at her right now. And and we didn't talk to her. I had no idea what was going on in her life. But I was like, Jenna's doing something that's making her dad very angry right now. Mm-hmm. And then 2 days later, we found out what was going on. I was like, and he was like, I'm going to start listening to you. I'm like, yeah, maybe you should.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good advice. Any other ghost stories?
Oh, you have your uncle that lived in that house, right? To open and close the windows.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We lived with my grandparents. My Uncle Bill passed away when he was 18. Uh-huh. But I lived with my grandparents my last 2 years of high school. And you come in and when to be open, you shut it, come back out. Come back in, it's open again.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that. I never saw...
Right.
Well... One night when I had the lights out, it looked like there was a shadow of sorts. So
yeah, so I've heard of that type of thing. I was in Austin, Texas, in the late '90s, and I moved from my dad's house. That was not fun to right next to Sandra Bullock and Matthew McConaughey. That's when he got busted by doing the drum bongos naked and stuff. Probably most people don't remember that now.
I've never heard about that.
Wow.
And eventually...
I heard about it. Yeah.
It was great.
He's a little freak.
He is. I love him. And then I moved to this place on a street called Speedway. Speedway runs right through UT. And so it's, I guess, one of the original streets that Austin was kind of built around. And so it runs north through it, and then it careens over west and heads back north towards University Avenue. And there's the reason it careens back over west is it used to be a carriage run for this small mansion. It was called a mansion back then, but now it's just like a rather large home in a place like Oklahoma City or Dallas or Austin or whatever. But it's old as dirt, and I lived in the bottom, I guess, west quadrant of it. You know, it was divided into four apartments, and mine was the servants' entrance and the kind of dining room used to be. And I would wake up all the time with the cupboards. There was like a million skinny cupboards because back then everything was tinier.
Yeah, yeah, itty bitty.
And so I would wake up and there was like, I think, let's see if I can count that in my head. There's like maybe 12, 12 to 16, I don't know how many, a lot of these little cupboards, and they'd all be opened up perfectly to the same angle. Now these are all like painted over the years and like creaky,
so hard
stiff.
To open, yeah.
And they'd all be opened up perfectly. Not only that, I'd take photos. I've always been a photographer, and I used film back then and black and white, and I developed it myself. So I know how to develop film. I know, if my equipment has a problem or not. And only in this living room, in that house, you would get my living room. You would have overexposure just around people, like a aura or silhouette or something. It would just be around them, and there would be weird light things like shooting out from where their hands are and stuff. And it was never in any other room. That camera never had any other problems, but that house constantly had these cabinets opening up one time. I also had one time a girl was sleeping in my bed, and she had one of those night terror things where her eyes were wide open, like she was awake, but she was clearly not awake, and she looked like she was being attacked. Like she looked like she was being pushed into the bed and like was struggling and stuff. And I've heard about these things. So that scientifically, there's a term for that, and I forget what the actual scientific term is, but there's now I'm blanking on everything. There's like an old wives' tale from back in the days when everything was kind of hyper-religious and Puritan and all that, where witches would get at the end of your bed and like they project themselves into your house and they were like killing you by doing these curses in front of you. And people have what happens scientifically is you go into this like hypnagogic trance. Half of your brain wakes up and the other half is asleep. So you are paralyzed because that comes from evolution, where we used to, as more primate-ish versions of ourselves, were more prone to living in nests and trees and stuff like that up high where it's more protected. So if you dream that you're running and you run out of your nest, you fall to the ground, you break a leg, you're dead. You're not going to make it for very long. So our body has a mechanism where it like paralyzes you when you're asleep, so that when you act out certain things, like, and sometimes that fails a little bit. We've all like we've either been hit by somebody in the middle of the night.
Or you wake up if you're falling.
Yeah.
You wake up.
But there's a thing where you wake halfway up and you can hallucinate. So part of your brain is awake and part of it is dreaming. And you can superimpose like dream-like figures like dark shadows or your grandma or something. And people
So
used
do you
to
dream in color or do you dream in black and white?
color for sure.
See, you know what? I hardly ever dream in color.
Really?
There's only been a few times in my lifetime that I've dreamt in color.
Yeah.
I usually always dream in black and white.
Huh.
And I don't,
I've never thought about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about your dreams, I mean, there's literally all of them are black and white. There's only a few times. And I think it's when I eat certain foods and I've narrowed it down.
Really?
It's seafood. It's shark or like swordfish or something. When I eat those foods, I mean, I know it sounds really weird,
Hey, you know.
but I dream in color.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I know I've tested it and it
Yeah,
works.
you're like, I'm gonna eat shark
Yep.
tonight. I want to see
Yep.
if I dream.
Sounds like an
Shark
expensive
tacos.
experiment.
Yeah. Swordfish. I mean, yeah, it's an expensive experiment, right?
Right.
Especially in Oklahoma.
Right,
Where
we were
I'm,
landlocked. Yeah.
not in Long Beach.
Super risky.
But no, I swear it makes a difference.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's different minerals and everything that you're
I
getting
mean,
in the shark.
maybe there's something else that like trips it. I'm not sure, but I want to say most of the time I dream in black and white,
Yeah.
and it's just weird.
Right.
I just remember seeing blue in mine sometimes.
Blue.
Maybe red. But I don't see any of the other.
All the
I feel
rainbow
like
colors.
I mostly dream in color.
You do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so do I.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've had some falling dreams for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Or crush. I always get crushed.
What are your falling dreams like? Mine, I walk up the stairs and the stairs end at a length and I walk off of it. Like I'm trying to continue walking and I know it's falling off, but I just do it anyway. The other type of falling dream is it's more of a falling dream hybrid where I bound to fly. So I go higher and higher. And then at some point I go so far, so high that I have no control over it and it
But
hurts.
down.
Yeah.
Mine are usually like I'm being chased by something and I decide that I'm
Me
going
too.
to fly to get away.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden it stops working and I fall back.
Mine is like running, like rooftops,
Yeah.
like little flat top, and they're like diminishing. I'm like running and I'm leaping, and they seem to get further and further away. And I think I can make it, and I can't make it, and then I fall.
Okay.
So mine is I'm working on cars and I'm learning how to fix them in my sleep, and I've never seen the part before, but for some reason I can go to the mechanic and be like, or the, Bethany Imports and be like, I'm looking for a part that looks like this that controls that. They're like, yeah, here it is. And I'm like,
Wow.
I saw that in my dream.
Wow.
That is fuck.
That's okay. That's really cool.
That's some next
Yeah,
level.
and I've
info.
done
that. That's
mechanical
like-
stuff too. She does
Yeah,
with her cars.
and I did that with my transmission because you push them down in Volkswagens,
Yeah,
and it was a certain type of
yeah.
and yeah.
So you
Jason thought I was crazy.
I
No,
was
I don't
like,
think so at
dude,
all.
I used
Dude,
to
I
fix my
saw this thing.
Carmagia all the time.
So you know
my
how it is.
very first car when I was like 15, 16 was a Volkswagen Carmagia. Throttle cable always broke
Oh my
right
God.
behind the gas pedal. Remember, but they
Yes,
had the
because
thread
of how
thing.
it rubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Wow.
I used to keep an extra one in my glove box because you never know where
You
you're going to
never
break
know
down.
where it's gonna
I
break,
could be
yeah.
in the tunnel under the airport and there's like no
Well,
side
where
lane.
you live too, there's
And
a
long-
lot
yeah.
of hills, so
Yeah.
you were there.
So, like, literally, you can thread it from back the carburetor. You kind of just, adjust it. It's like good to go.
you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's-
crazy?
That is crazy.
And now the
I love
cars these
Volkswagens.
days, the cars
Yeah,
these days,
you
you
can't
can't
do
do
that.
anything on them.
Can't do that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just bought a new car and like Sheila just like I can't work on.
I
this.
just looked at it and I said, okay, 4 years, we're going to trade it in.
It's electric.
And I said, I'm going to get my
hybrid.
Volkswagen
Well,
73
with all
Super
the
Beetle
computer
running.
sensors, everything
Oh,
now
duh.
you have to. My brother is a mechanic, and I get it. I had a BMW forever. My brother and I wrecked it, and my brother's like, "Yay! I'm glad you got rid of that piece of shit."
Yeah, because BMW
He's like,
is
I
like
would
pain
never
in the
work
ass
on
to
it.
work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Pain
he
in the
said.
ass. They're so
And-
expensive.
And I had a Saab too, and my brother's like,
Did he
okay,
hate that
this-
too?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like, it's just
yeah.
the engine sideways. He's like,
Yeah.
this is the most ridiculous
That's
car.
what was so crazy about it.
He said the engine sideways.
Because
in
you
it.
have to change the
Because
spark plugs from down
speed
below.
shift?
And
Like, remember your starter? It's where you
it's
shift.
right here, right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
My brother's like, I hate those cars.
Well,
He's
that's why
like,
we
I
love
don't-
our Element though, because the Element, like if something goes wrong on it, we work on it ourselves.
Yeah.
She does
Yeah.
most of the work. I just stand there. Here's your tool.
I wait until she's asleep.
So you talked about the girly show. What the hell's the girly show?
It was an art show that focused on women artists.
Uh-huh.
Mostly in Oklahoma, but they also took submissions from elsewhere. But all the artists were female.
And we had booths.
Yeah, you had to apply to be a part of the show, be accepted, and then you could you paid your booth fee or whatever, and then you could have whatever you wanted to sell.
And
Yeah.
she
Within
DJ'd there.
Yeah.
Right. I actually saw you there. That was the upstairs at the farmer's market, and
Yep.
they do a few other shows like that there.
It was
Yeah, they-
always at farmer's market.
And it was
Yeah.
not always at farmer's
Oh, was it
market.
not?
They did the
Yeah.
first 2 years elsewhere.
And they did
They
it
did
Right.
10 years. The first 2 years I didn't DJ, but I went to the first one. The first
Where
one I think
was
was at
that?
Tap.
right there.
Oh,
off
really?
of
Right near
where it
Broadway,
does that
yeah.
weird
I don't
thing,
remember
yeah.
where the second one was.
Okay, that's when that
didn't
had
get
to
to
be
the
super
one.
small then.
It was. Yeah.
I had a
Okay.
booth at it.
Nice.
Did you?
OG.
Yeah. It actually started the first year Kelly Trance DJ'd it, I think with Karina.
Upstairs and a little.
Yeah.
It was horrible getting up there.
And I got involved because I became friends with Kelly Trance. And,
Yeah.
so they invited me to do the third year with them. And then each year, like me, her, and Desire, and every now and then Kylie, we're part of a women's collective, DJ collective called Iconoclast.
That's awesome. I didn't even know about that.
We haven't done a whole lot in the last couple of years. Things, life
Life
happens.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
babies.
have
Got it.
kids.
No,
They-
life.
Yeah. One of the girls went off to become an architect. She went to architect school. I don't think that's what she's doing now, but
Yeah.
that's what she went to school for. And then Desire still DJ. She's over at Copa.
Yeah.
Kylie DJs up in Tulsa.
Awesome.
Copa is our local neighborhood, and they have a pool. There's another pool right beside it, right? Or
It's like it's an apartment. It's a whole like living community.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
kind
it's
of
not
like a
connect-
hotel, but they have living spaces
Yeah,
for people
no,
to
and
live
the
in.
top,
Oh, wow.
like the top floor. Yeah, I just found that out.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't know
like
that.
it's a whole community.
And they have like a cowboy club connected.
Yeah.
to it.
There's several clubs within the
pretty
Copa.
awesome.
And there's
Yeah.
also a restaurant there.
yeah,
Gushers?
yeah.
Gushers. Every time I hear that.
what does that mean?
It makes me think of that gum when you were young.
Right.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
that gum?
Gushers.
It
Remember
makes
the
me
Gusher
think
gum?
of other things.
They
Yeah,
used to
probably.
like
Being a gay community.
Right.
They nicknamed
Right.
it. They nicknamed it the Gusher cum gum because
Cum
when you
gum.
bite into it.
Squirt in
Yeah.
your mouth.
You remember that? That was like in the 80s.
That's why I keep pulling you over.
Oh my god, this is awesome that we're all older, so we know that.
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
I remember, yeah, but
Cum
whenever I hear the word gushers, it just every time I'm just like I'm not even.
Is
gonna
that like
say it.
moist for you?
I'm okay with the word
Yeah,
moist.
me too. I don't have a
Some
problem.
people freak out
I've
about the
seen
word
it.
I don't have
moist.
any problems with any words.
But
Yeah.
I say the weirdest things to her, and she's
I like
always
the word
like,
moist.
"I can't believe you just said that." Or whatever.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Any words like you don't like?
You know. Oh my god, Aaron and I did this morning because we were watching that the new Jumanji. The word phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Every
You
time I
say
hear
phenomenon.
phenomenon, I think do do do.
I know.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. It's like a weird word to say, much like spell or like.
I have
it's
a
weird
word. I have a hard time with
phenomenon.
comfortable.
Not comfortable.
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 People make fun of my accent, like California, like Valley Girl, but I've been in Oklahoma since like 2002. But I do some like little crossover weird things. I mean, my husband, I obviously
Y'all?
grew up in Altus. No, I do love though in Oklahoma that all y'all is like the plural for
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I do love that. And it always cracks me up. I'm pretty sure I still say you guys.
Yeah.
Like even if you're a girl, I still hey you guys.
That's what I do too.
Yeah.
And I grew
So-
up in Sacramento, so yeah.
But I think it's more like other words like with multiple syllables that I have to pronounce, and I'm just like, oh my god, did that just come out of my mouth? Like it's like crossed over, and it's like this weird little thing because somebody was making fun of me the other day because I said motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
And they're like, what? I'm like, motorcycle. And they're like, you mean motorcycle? I'm like, oh yeah.
It almost sounded southern though. And I
Exactly.
lived in
Yeah.
South Carolina for 5 years, so every now and then it's like South Carolina.
Yeah.
It just pops out.
But I said motorcycle.
Motorcycle. Yeah,
And I
whenever, what is it, elephant? Or, no, you say something that I'm always,
It's always South Carolina.
yeah.
Sounds cute.
I'm always
It's
like, will you
cute,
say it
though.
again? Will you say it again?
Wait, how do you say elephant? Elefante? Is there
elephant.
another way to
Elephant.
pronounce
Yeah.
elephant? I don't know.
I don't know where she got elephant from.
I don't know.
That's all right. Do you guys remember the church or the old?
Yeah.
So what are the clubs you guys went to back in the day? We're talking about like the 90s,
Like
like
Star 7?
2000s.
Star 7, yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I don't know if I saw
Yeah, it was
that.
Everyone went to
underage.
Star 7?
I don't know. Where was it?
It was
Sunday West City.
Oh no, I did
Mid-American
not.
Boulevard.
So tell
it's
me.
now a Target, that area.
Oh yeah, nice.
I know. We look around. We're like, we
Upgrade.
think we're like right on Star 7. It was like an
It's
old.
the parking lot of Target now is where
It was like an old Pioneer Pies or something. Because whenever you would go to the first Star 7, it had like these areas that you could tell they took the booth out of.
Yeah.
And I would totally like grab an area where the booth
wasn't
was
that called
at. I'd be like,
EVM though?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Did
called
you guys ever
EVM
go to
then.
Hot Shots?
No.
Yeah, once. Yeah.
You did?
Only once.
That's the first place that I bartended when I moved here in 2002.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Where was it at?
Yeah,
Hot
where's that at?
Shots. It was off Western, like South OKC. There's like that diner, that old time onion burger diner, like in that little complex, and there's like
Dan's old diner.
yeah, and it was across from
It's like the soccer field, right?
what's that? Ensign.
Uh-huh.
Ensign, like across from, but there used to be an old drive-in across the street with like the big pit, and
It's
then
still
they
there.
took that down. No,
No.
they tore that all down. The drive-in.
Do they not have the
further-
guy, the old cowboy guy?
No,
there?
no,
that's
that's further
different.
down the
Oh, okay.
Winchester, but there was another one with like the pig, or I forget like the whole story because obviously I just moved here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the guy that owned that place, he owned Corner Pocket.
Okay, I
He
remember Corner Pocket.
owns the Sunset. I think his daughter owns City Limits.
Okay.
So I got to I worked at all the bars.
Yeah.
Like that was my first job when I moved here. I just bartended.
Right.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
You're making
What'd
some good money doing it.
Yeah, it was
certainly.
fun. I went in at 9, finished at 2, and that's when I met Aaron.
Right. So that was going to be my next
He
question.
was security.
Was he
Oh.
like everybody else? Was he different than everybody else? What did you think about Oklahoma people, like Aaron in particular, where you're like, oh, he's a country boy?
Well, automatically I thought like, oh, country, like everybody's going to be like super nice, super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But they obviously do not like Californians that much.
Really?
Much less. Well, the girls at the bar, the first bar that I worked at they were not nice to me. They were not nice to me. But, I mean, obviously,
sad.
I didn't fill out an application or anything. I mean, I came here and I already had a lot. I came here because my mom had an accident. My mom lived here. My parents divorced young, whatever. I came here, like, to help my mom before she lost everything. So, my son had just gone in the Marine Corps. I mean, I'm obviously older. I hadn't bartended in years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd already been, like, a manager. I had a resume. So my brother drove me around. My brother lived here with my mom. My younger brother. My brother drove me around. I just dropped off resumes. So I went to this, plate, and they're like, "Oh, you're like overqualified." And I'm like, "Well, hey, I can dumb it down. I just need a job.
I need to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for a few months."
Yeah.
I mean, I literally came with 2 suitcases. I'm going to be here a few months. So, I mean, I can dumb it down if you want. But evidently, like, the word already spread. I dropped off a resume. At this point, I've been at Disney 13 years, SMG 5 years. I mean, I was, a beverage manager for banquets, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm going to go back to bartending, something I did in the 80s. So it's like, yeah, I got this. Crown and Coke, Jack and Coke, yeah, we got this.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so anyway, they hired me, but all the girls were not nice. Really? Like Miss Pris from, California.
Right. It's a
da, da, da.
competition thing.
And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to kill him with kindness. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah,
how
that's
I was.
what I
So,
do.
Yeah,
Right.
kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
No need to be ugly. I'm going to be
No.
here a while. I'm
Yeah.
going to be here a while, bitches.
Yeah.
Get used to me.
I'm
Yeah.
always overly nice when someone's mean to me.
I am too. And you know what? And that's the thing to do. It
Yeah.
is the thing to do.
Yeah.
It feels the worst. You're trying to get a reaction out of somebody and you don't.
Yeah, I
Plus,
know.
I was older than most of them. I mean, like, and I think my style, clothing, like everything.
You're probably cool, and they weren't.
Everything was way different.
There was a time gap. I mean,
Oh,
I remember
big
being in
time.
Oklahoma.
Yeah. Plus, I decided. So this is what I decided. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start dressing in costume to go to work. So one day,
Heck
I'm like,
yes.
I went and got overalls. I went to all the thrift stores. I got some overalls, and I did like my hair
Pigtails
like in
and
braids.
stuff. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I did. Got me some beads and stuff. I'm like, this.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna so make fun of this. I mean, and I wasn't making fun. I was just like, I'm gonna try and fit in. I'm gonna see what these girls. Oh yeah, it got even worse from there.
Oh, they probably thought you were like, but you got better.
They thought I
tips,
was
didn't
making
you?
fun. Oh my God, yes.
Hell
there
yeah.
was this Budweiser guy, and he was like a Budweiser rep. He used to come in the middle of the afternoon, like just to check, orders. But he literally only had 1 or 2 beers, but he said that I was like the coolest bartender ever, and he left me $100.
That's
every
awesome.
time he paid with a $100 bill. But I did not know that he was fucking some other bartender that worked there. And when she found out, she tried. Oh yeah,
now
they
it's
were,
making sense.
Those girls were ugly. That's what I'm saying. Those girls were.
You called
ugly.
it. You said it was a competition thing.
Yeah.
It was
That's how
totally
it
a
always-
competition
isn't
thing.
So
that
I'm
crazy?
like, no. I was like, you want to make it ugly?
Come on, let's do it.
Let's do
All right,
it.
I want to
It's
go
like
here
it's
then.
on.
I want to
It's
go with
on.
this. So you work in the ceramics world, which I imagine doesn't have quite as many people as like doing painting and photography. Do you have this competition problem?
I'm not really with my corsets, no.
Although she does have people who look at her and go, I could do that.
So there's jealousy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. There's sometimes that there was a couple shows around that I heard through the grapevine the reason why I wasn't accepted or asked to be part of the show is because I would steal their thunder.
Really?
That's crazy.
Bullshit. I was like, you.
Now I have a question though.
And I promote the crap out of other people. I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
I
I'm with
do
all these
too.
other people.
I mean, obviously
It's about
that's what I
supporting
do.
your community.
Local artists.
Yeah.
Wine and Palette, we're up to almost 70 artists that have come through my door, all local.
Right.
And if you ever look at Wine and Palette page, there's an artist page. They get to talk about themselves.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, they can support themselves. And every time Anthony paints or any of the artists paint, they can totally support themselves.
Hell yeah.
And I have, okay, so you're going to love this.
Okay.
So in the last year, I branched out a little bit because I have a few artists that work for me that do outside commission work. I have a couple that came to me that did not get paid for the outside commission work. And it just happened, and I went and checked it out, their work. It just happened to be one of the owners of the place. Like, it was a partnership. I actually knew him. And I used to do stuff for him when Wine and Palette first started. So I had some pull, and they ended up getting paid. But I got smart. I went and talked to my lawyer. I mean, I might as well take advantage of everything I have.
Right.
So I talked to my lawyer, and I was like, what if I did this? I did like another branch of Wine and Palette, not Wine and Palette, but separate, but supported outside artists or even my artists that are doing outside commission works. My lawyer, you back me. We have a different contract. We send the contract. Anybody who wants something done, they sign a contract first. They're paying 30 to 50% up front. We're charging them by the hour plus supplies, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody's going to get paid.
I think it's perfect.
Artist.
Yeah.
So I did that. And I have 2 artists right now. I've had in the last couple of months 3 other outside artists that don't even work for Wine and Palette that are asking me how this works. So in the meantime, we have had a lot of window painting, outside things, some signage. We just did a huge job for Eskridge Honda.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Window Coupe just rebranded, like they're so we just did some stuff for Coupe. I've gotten a couple new CBD places, window painting, a floral shop. I mean, and everybody's getting paid.
Heck,
So
Nice.
the artists are telling me that, thank you, Marie. It's made such a big difference because and the first thing when it happened, and I went, what I was saying, the girl said, and the guy I went to, it's like, and he was a partner in this firm. He was like, oh, Marie, I didn't know they were Wine and Palette artists. Like, I didn't, like, oh, yeah, of course.
But,
like, I'll take care. And it's like, really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So does it
Cut
matter?
people off.
But I mean, no. But I've come to find out there's so many artists that do outside work, and they're not getting paid.
Right. That's
Yeah,
really
it has-
common.
So I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna fix that.
Yeah,
Good.
I have them pay a third or half up front now. I don't
Good.
do anything.
Okay, I'm doing the same, and we're doing supplies plus an hourly, and we'll do a quote. We'll do a quote, like we'll estimate how many hours, and then we give ourselves a leadway. And
Just
because
in
most of the time during, and just Eskridge Honda, for example, they added some signage,
Yeah.
we changed
They
a couple
always do,
things.
don't they?
Right.
So, I mean, but we make sure we have them reinitial
Rewrite
the
it, yeah.
contract.
Yep.
No, I love space. We add it, send it to them, reinitial it. Like, this is another
Good.
8 to 10 hours. I got this.
All right, so
I
tell-
got this. and it was taking advantage of my resources. And obviously, I don't do much during the day, so I'm so happy to do this.
I'm happy you're doing that. Tell people who are listening to this or watching how to get a hold of you, so if they want to do this.
Marie Wine and Palette. Marie at wineandpalette.com. If you want to email me, call me 227-0230.
Oh, geez, that's brave. Giving out the phone number and everything.
I'll give out my
That's
phone number.
that's my business phone number.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right. That's
That's
different.
business. That's wine and
Text
palette.
me.
I mean, seriously, if you're looking for some, if you've done an outside job in the city and you didn't get paid, Wine and Palette's been in business since 2009. I mean, I took advantage of my resources. I have a lawyer on retainer. I mean, I understand the whole copyright thing. I mean, everything's investigated. I mean, we got this. I mean, I pay for this every month. Why should I not take advantage of my resources and help all the other local starving artists, you know? You don't have to work for me. Right. You don't have to do the paint and sip what Wine and Palette does for me to help you to make money and everything else, that you do. Yeah.
Do you have any horror stories from DJs being all scandalous or jealous or stealing shit?
Well, I mean, it's a tight competition all the way around.
Because there's not very many clubs.
It's getting less and less places to play here in the city.
Really? Okay, so is that because they're closing down or they're stealing? Everybody's stealing each other's kind of gigs and stuff, or
not so much. I mean, a lot of us still try to support each other. I mean, I play a lot with Bone and Jeff Peace. They have a regular thing at Sauce. And,
right, it's a big deal.
They'll bring people in to do guest spots with them for the stuff that they throw. Yeah. And a lot of us try to support each other, but, I mean, competition is fierce right now.
Yeah.
Most of the DJs, though, I've noticed, they get set. Like, you see the same DJs playing the same place. They don't switch them out.
No, it's a residence. Yeah. I mean, you get your job, and, I mean, sometimes some of those people will bring other people in, some of them won't. I talked with a couple guys last night. I'm not going to say the space, and they were like, "Well, we really kind of don't do that." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Well, here's one of my CDs. If you ever change your mind, If that's not what the space does, it's not what the space does."
I saw recently advertised that huge DJ concert freaking in Red Rock. It's coming up this year.
I haven't seen that.
In Red Rock in Colorado. And it's like 1 million DJs from everywhere. Like, I don't know if it's a competition. I don't know if everybody's just going out there to show it just came across my, I don't know, because I've been to concerts at Red Rock or whatever. Yeah. And I love Reggae on the River and you go by. But right now they're having a huge DJ thing. And I thought, how awesome would that be? Yeah. Like Red Rock in Colorado, that's awesome venue, by the way, but to go see 1 million DJs, would be freaking
It'd be
awesome.
hard to catch everything you wanted to catch.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of big
and I
names
think it's like a tour too. I want to say it's at least like a 2-day event. So people, you do the campgrounds, camp out there in Colorado.
I DJ'd
do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but
I'll check on it.
Yeah. I'll look that up.
It just popped up on my thing this last week, and I thought, freaking how awesome.
Yeah. I did the New Mexico Music Fest. Was it Santa Fe Music Fest?
Yeah.
And they had a few tents where they did different types of DJs, but then they had 3-4 main stages where there was Burning Spear, Public Enemy. I mean, crazy. Amazing artists that I've been wanting to see forever. And because I played the show, I got to see all these people for free. It was awesome.
Amazing.
We camped out the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Just caught every show we could.
I just barely watched that biography on DJM. I had no idea. The whole plane crash and him going back on drugs and, and how
talk about some major PTSD.
And just his whole career, his $1 million contracts in Vegas, and I was just like, oh my god! And he just threw everything away.
Yeah,
you
never know what someone's going through.
I did watch that. It was I had no idea.
You can have everything and feel like you have nothing. Yeah, if depending on what you've been through.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever thrown away a career option choice or a hobby just to get away from all of your life? Yeah, and people?
I wouldn't say that. I've stopped going certain places because things in my life changed.
Right.
When you have people going, well, it's this or that, sometimes you just gotta go, well, it's that.
Well, you go to a place that's all-inclusive. We talked about it personally outside a little bit, Red Cup. So I don't know that everybody knows what Red Cup is. Tell me what Red Cup
It's
is.
like a coffee vegetarian.
Coffee shop.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
vegetarian coffee shop.
She said there's like Republicans and Democrats.
There's Republicans, Democrats, everybody's
yeah.
out there talking.
Yeah, it's right in the middle. It's between
It's a little
there's,
artist cove in a
Paseo
way.
and it's off Classen a
Amanda
little
Joy
bit.
Wells. She used to do a lot of artwork there.
Yeah.
Who has the huge ceramics now?
Yep.
She used to be an artist.
Yeah.
For
I know
us.
Amanda Joy, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So she does, and she took off like huge. I mean, her and her husband Jason, I'm like friends with. Yeah, she took off. She's doing amazing. But I remember when
She does a lot of
started-
wheel work, right?
Yeah, she does mostly wheel work.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any
Her
other,
glazes, like, yeah, amazing.
High Fire, yeah. I was
Yeah.
looking at that.
what are
She
some
has
of the
some amazing
artists you
work.
guys are liking these days? Do you like some particular artists? I like Sean Valley. I like a lot of artists in Oklahoma City. Are there some that are just kind of you're sticking with every time they post something or do something? You watch
I
them.
don't know. I'm just going and checking out everybody because there's so many. There's so much talent. You know what? It's so crazy here. We are flooded with so much talent.
Yeah.
We
I am
really are.
blown
I
away.
am surprised coming from California, how awesome Oklahoma City is just in the whole art community.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
That's good. We're going to take a really short break, and then we'll come back and talk about whatever Dee wants to talk about. We'll be right back. This is Artless Nap.
Don't break it.
No breaking.
Artist Nap.
Artless Nap. Artless Nap. We are back on Artless Nap. This is Marie, Wine and Palette. This is Dee. DJ Ostara? Ostara. Man, I'm getting everything wrong today.
Ostara.
Arstera? Arstera? And Nicole Moan.
Moan.
Not Moan.
You can call me Moan. I don't care.
Yeah. Do you have a name for the line? Like, is there...
It's Moan. Moan
Yeah.
Fashion.
Okay. Well,
I have other
Corsets.
things. I have other things I'm making too that have the word Moan on them.
other
But
things.
you have no idea.
Are you releasing like your...
It's gonna be later.
Oh,
I'm
you
working
can't
on it right
premiere
now.
the new information? Oh.
It's gonna be later.
All right, well...
Yeah.
let's-
She hasn't done all the legal work yet.
Wear a corset
I haven't done the
over my
legal work
wedding
yet.
dress.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Down
love
the
to
aisle.
a waist cincher.
You should see my wedding dress. It's a Bagley Mishka, like retro from New York. I got it like years ago.
Wow.
All
Put
these-
a waist cincher, a beautiful waist cincher over it. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
How do you find out about fashion if you want to? I know nothing. Like, those words mean absolutely nothing to me. Do you just pick up magazines and get online and look?
I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now she has 3 kids.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think I
It's
do a
on
lot of
commissions.
just Instagram, Facebook, whatever pops up. Like I found out about the Met and several years ago, and I was just like, oh, I want to be a designer for the Met. I want a movie star to pick me up and say, I want you to make an outfit for me. And they would, yeah, it'd be completely crazy.
Yeah. So would you work with them, or would they tell you the combination of the
I
two?
think it'd be both.
Well, the
Yeah.
gala usually has a theme for.
Oh, okay.
So
different year.
who's like cool like movie stars that come to? Oh my God, you probably should have hit up. What's the little Hannah Montana?
Miley Cyrus?
Miley
You should have
Cyrus.
so hit her up when she was here.
Well,
Would've been-
She
friends
comes back
with
all
Wayne
the time.
Coyne.
Yeah, she's
Or
here all the
Yes.
time.
Wayne Coyne's
I've met her
goddaughter.
Right.
But everybody is always so weird around
Wayne
her
Coyne.
that I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be
Yeah.
like,
Right.
Should have. I mean, but that would have been like a good end.
yeah, but right
She's crazy
right
enough
around
to
the
do-
same time that I met her, that was whenever she was wearing that stuffed animal outfit with her tongue all sticking out. And I was
You
like,
could have helped her out.
I just need a moment.
Katy Perry. She seems like she would do it.
She knows someone that knows Katy Perry quite well, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
but I don't want to.
I haven't
Lady
seen him in
Gaga.
forever,
Still
though.
born.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Does Gaga come here? Has she been to
She
Oklahoma
has
City?
been
He's toured her
here
a couple times.
because my friend Mike is food and beverage director at 21C.
Are you talking about Gaga?
Yeah, and she was here.
I gave her a
the
costume, but
top
I never
floor.
know if she got it.
Right.
I made a complete costume for her, and I don't know if she even got it.
Because
Lady-
she handed it to
That's
someone to
awesome.
give it to her. So.
Lady
That's
Gaga, if you got
awesome.
that, you can
When she was here
message us.
in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
See, that's freaking awesome that you did that.
But we
Was
did
what,
a
7
photo
years
shoot
ago?
right before it, so
Yeah.
then, just
Wow.
in case I never saw it ever.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry you haven't heard back yet, but it's not too late.
yeah.
Again, she can message us
Well,
here.
she may not have ever got it, though, too. The person who she handed it to may not have ever delivered it.
I'm sure
She
they're
kept it
beautiful
for
pieces.
herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stuff happens.
Do you have
People-
stuff stolen all the time?
I've had 2 pieces stolen. One
Oh.
piece was in London. A girl totally took off her weave and left the runway.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. She was like throwing her weave out on the end of the driveway, on the end of the runway.
I mean, I'm guessing that belonged to the
Hairstylist.
Yeah, because those are expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the other one was stolen from a studio that I was part of for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. I've had things like that happen where you get involved in a studio co-op kind of thing, and things
and
go
they use
missing.
things a little further than what you okayed, and then all of a
Well, you
sudden
can't be there 24/7.
Yeah.
And you leave it, so you trust it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I was running away from home, I think this was probably around 96, 97 or something like that. I first of all, I didn't ask my parents if it was okay, and I didn't ask again if it was okay afterwards. There was no communication. So I was off on my own, doing my own thing, and the community that picked me up to protect me was the gay community. And I identify as a straight man, and I always have. But that was the community that immediately, they had a nightclub I had been to a lot through a fake ID that I had made, and had a digital camera because they were new, fresh on the market. And I went to their back door one time. I'd already been there drinking one time, and I was like, this is a party place, I want a place to drink right now. And knocked on their door with a camera, knowing that there were people in there getting ready for a show, not knowing what show was going on, and faked my way in as a photographer. Just totally lied. And I think they knew. They just were like, all right, kid, come in and, whatever. And they figured out what was going on, and I spent the rest of my time in Oklahoma City being protected by the gay community. I think that there's a lot of misinformation going around. People are saying, especially in Oklahoma, you can deny a gay couple adopting a kid if your adoption organization doesn't believe
agree with that.
Yeah. And so there's, I think, some misinformation going around that it's more dangerous to have kids as a gay couple. Are you finding any discrimination or anything like that?
We haven't really dealt with.
We haven't got any because we didn't have to adopt because all three of them came out of me.
Right.
So
the state can't take them away.
they can't know because I'm
not
I
unless they
make
can prove that we're abusing them.
Right.
Yeah,
We don't,
love them so much. But that's what's upsetting to me is that it's so hard to explain how I feel about that. It's just because of your sexual orientation doesn't mean that you're going to be more abusive or a predator or anything.
Yeah.
Or
because
you have more chance your kids are going to grow up different if you have two moms or two dads.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have more chance of being abused by a straight male than you do
Right.
a gay male.
Yes.
A family member.
Or a stepfather.
Yeah.
Or something crazy.
A grandparent.
Or the wicked
grandfather?
stepmom.
Right.
That's just going to treat you like shit. Or no.
It's not necessarily, I don't think it is the sexual orientation that makes things a certain way. I think it's the surroundings that make it the way.
Well, I think sometimes people just need someone to demonize, and we're an easy target.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, Hollywood has definitely made more movies about the horrible stepfather and the wicked stepmother. I mean, come on. Then they don't even know how to approach because they can't.
A healthy relationship
they
within that.
Yes.
That dynamic.
Yes, because they can't.
Yeah.
There's no proof of anything bad. What happens to the kids, I think, of gay couples is usually something outside of the home. It's not the parents.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the kids being bullied, or which is a huge ordeal. Just if you're a nerd or if you're just different. So all the kids are being bullied regardless.
Yeah.
So how I feel about our kids is that they have not been bullied. They've actually are more open-minded, and a lot of their friends feel as if they can communicate with us more than they can their own parents.
Wow. Yeah,
That's awesome.
the only version of that I remember is like in Oklahoma back in those days. This was before, Oklahoma became noticeably progressive. We've always had a little bit of progressiveness, but it was always kind of in the dark.
Yeah.
The only thing I have analogous to that is were the cool parents who just let you drink in their living room because they were like, we don't want you out, on the street and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's like what you're talking about is not, encouraging people to party hard. They can just come to you and talk.
Right.
And
If they have
discuss
problems, we're there and we're willing to listen.
And we'll
if
feed
we can
them.
help them, we'll help them.
Sometimes they're hungry. Would you
Right,
like some
that's
food?
true. We've had that.
That to me sounds like community. That to me sounds like what people should
What
be
do you
looking
need?
for.
Do you need just a shoulder to cry on? I'm okay. There's no judgment.
Yeah.
And that's what I think drives me crazy about people that look at gay couples. They're already judging us even though they've never met us.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't judge us.
Because we're
And
probably
all
the one who's
couples,
taking care of your kid when
Black,
you
white.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
And here in
there's
Oklahoma
always
City-
those unprogressive
Yeah.
people that are just stuck.
And there's some people here in Oklahoma City that I do not tell them whenever I come to work for them that I am gay. because I already know that they're going to judge me a certain way.
That's horrible.
Or
that
you
have
lose
to worry
the
about that.
commission.
Or
from
I
it.
lose the commission.
Well,
Wow.
yeah. No, I mean, and that is horrible. And I get it. I mean, you don't. I get it.
And the same, in kind of the same regard, whenever I go to a gig with her, I kind of just act like I'm a hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't act like she's my wife.
Depending on the gig.
I can't act like I'm her.
Well, like when we're at the museum,
mine.
we're a little bit more, you know.
They
we're
understand.
fine.
They know us.
The people who work at the museum know
us. Yeah.
Know us, but
But there's
That's
other
good.
gigs that we've been at that
but
we.
some of the people that go there, they don't know us, so
Yeah.
we, you know.
whenever people are there, other than the. But I don't ever. We aren't publicly that way most of the time because we don't know.
Yeah.
But we've publicly in places where we've been in, like Dallas. We went down there one of our first weekends that we were
Austin.
together.
That was in Austin.
Austin, Texas, first time that we hung out. It was really cool because people actually were like, "Go girls!" and we
They
were
drive
like,
by, come on,
"Wow!"
Austin is cool.
But we've been walking down the street holding hands, and we've been
Yeah.
My niece
cussed
lives
at and
there,
yelled
too.
at. And,
Yeah.
Austin is like so progressive. I love Austin.
Yeah.
I
Go
do
for
too.
the music festival and
I did
yeah.
I did DJ
Yeah.
for
my niece lives
South by
in
Southwest.
Austin. I love it.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing I had seen
Fashion
as a
show was
kid when I
awesome
lived in Austin when I first moved there was, of course, going to, they had an actual gay district. I was from Oklahoma City, so I had never seen, but there was
Like
a
a-
protected area where there's like, I mean, we had a few buildings and
Yeah.
like the neighborhood was there, but
And
it
this
was
little
like,
strip.
yeah.
yeah, but this was something entirely different. Like the rest of the city came there and there was just thousands of people and they would filter in and out of the two districts, which, you know, butt up against each other. Here in Oklahoma City, we aren't quite as hidden anymore.
Well, and that's part of the downfall of the gay
The gay
clubs.
strip is gone
Because-
because of it.
well, I mean,
Losing,
there's still
falling
some-
apart.
Really, it's
clubs
falling
that are-
apart?
It doesn't get as busy as it used to.
Because we don't
you
have to
got-
hide.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go anywhere and
That's
feel
interesting.
safer, which is great. It's awesome, but
But you miss your community at
the,
the same.
the community is kind of it's not quite there.
That's kind of the same complaint as like the people who used to live in these older neighborhoods when gentrification happens. They say, well, it's kind of like we had this culture here, and when it becomes, I guess, blanded out, you know, the other side would be,
Yeah.
well, we're taking care of the buildings, we're buying them from poor people who can't, you know, afford to keep up
That's
their
true,
houses.
but we're
The other
bummed.
side of that is the culture is being lost and
Right.
it's becoming homogenized somewhat, you know. Which is interesting to me that we're going to homogenize, I guess, the neighborhood here in Oklahoma City.
And it's kind of like the plaza. They've gone in, the artist came in, made it cool. Now the people are bumping up the price, and
Yeah.
the artists
Where to
are
live there
moving
anymore.
out.
Yeah, have
and
everybody-
I think that's the real killer right there.
Yeah.
Is these people who had a home there who can't
They
afford
can't
to
afford
live
there
there.
because
if
of
it was
taxes.
a garage apartment
Right.
above their gallery, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
So Oklahoma City now has its growing pains that are
Right.
Long Beach
slightly
is the
different.
same
than-
way.
I think pretty much everywhere has those issues.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
I remember when like the whole, you know, gay community, like the bars were all separated, and I remember when all of that started. I mean, I'm talking like the 80s when it was, you know, when I was old enough to go drink. Say my age. Anyway, no, I remember, and now it's so different. It's so different. So
It's a
different.
completely different world. It's crazy.
Yeah.
to
Well,
me.
all the bars are kind of having some struggle. So, but part of it is they're having to compete with the cell phone. I mean, the fact that you have entertainment at your fingertips at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could drink
People
for
don't
less.
get out quite as much, you know.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, the home thing, like people are watching Netflix and Hulu, and I'm
Yeah.
guilty of that as well. Podcasting from home. Everybody's home podcasting instead of going out to the bars.
right?
But that's part of your job, right? Is to build a base and bring
Right.
people out on the off days. Have the off days changed? Like they used to bring you out on Friday, Saturdays, and now they're like, we want you more on Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Well, right now I'm doing Saints. We just switched things up. I was doing every Saturday. Things are tight because it's summertime.
Yeah.
Summer is always worse than the bar business. I
Yeah.
mean, for the 20 years I've been doing it, summer is always worse because people like
Aren't there
Friday. If you're gonna have a busy night, it's gonna be Friday.
Yeah.
Because people are still in town. They just got off work. They want to go out, not be cooped up in the house. They've been inside all day already.
Yeah.
Saturdays, they've been cooped inside in the heat. They want to be outside. They don't want to be in a bar. They want to go to the lake. So summertimes are always the worst.
Right.
So we are just switching to once a month for now, and then once things start building up, things will change.
I think Saints is renovating the inside of their
Or you just
building.
want to go to Saints and play a game with Patrick and fuck with him,
Right?
right?
Patrick is the owner for anybody who's listening.
Yeah.
This is the name
Oh, sorry,
Patrick
Patrick.
is.
Well, I've known Patrick since Sidecar days when I used to
I
DJ over
just
there.
know from Anthony I was
Sidecar.
fucking with him.
Yeah. Once in a while.
Yeah, I've
Sidecar.
known.
Patrick's fun to
I think all
fuck
of
with,
us
so.
have known Patrick probably forever.
For a long time, yeah.
Uh-huh. Is
Well,
there-
his bar's awesome.
It is. It's a killer bar. I think they've stopped serving food, so they're going to have food trucks now.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And- yeah,
Yeah.
he's changing it. He's renovating the whole thing.
Yeah,
Which-
let's take away more parking.
Oh, yeah, well, that's...
There's really not any parking over there anyway.
I know, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I
so.
have to, like, put my blinkers on to unload and then go
Yeah.
for a spot to park.
So
Yeah.
where's DJ? How is he doing that? So
Parks
they're
it
really
right
not doing
next to
food?
it.
'Cause I
Yeah,
like
just right
their
next
food.
to it. Yeah,
Well,
there's like that
yeah.
3-car parking spot thing. And they're going
Wow.
to cone it off and all that. But
Huh.
I think they're just doing that Saturday nights. They didn't have it this
Oh,
last
it's not
Friday.
like
and
it-
then maybe probably on first, it's not first Friday.
Friday.
The second Friday.
Second-
Because
Okay.
the Plaza,
'cause
Plaza
the
Walk
Art
is, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
yeah, I understand that too. I was...
I'm doing food trucks for the wedding. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, everybody's invited. If you
Oh,
are
yeah.
listening to the
You guys
podcast, you can come to the
Halloween.
dress up
I
Halloween.
booked I think I have I don't know what the Italian one is. I want to say pasta and pasta, something like that. Oh my goji.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
And I'm still looking. I have to have tacos. So hey, if you're watching, need a taco truck. And then my husband like knows somebody that like does barbecue because Oklahoma, we gotta have some barbecue.
Right.
So I'm thinking like 4. I mean, but it's a party.
Yeah.
It's a
Anyone
party.
vegetarian?
Well, I think
All of
the
them.
pasta and the oh my goji, they do like the vegetarian because it's like a Asian, definitely.
There's usually
And
some
the
vegetarian
Italian,
options,
the
yeah.
Italian, I've had a pizza from them. Yeah, just the herbs, veggies, tomatoes, cheese. Yeah, there's definitely some veggie options.
Is there bone
Gotcha,
marrow
covered.
in those like little candy corn things? There's got to be those at a Halloween wedding. You can
Oh
just
my
eat
god,
some.
I'm having a candy bar
Well,
from
that
hell.
only matters if you're vegan, not vegetarian.
Oh, right.
I'm having a candy bar from like old school to now, and I've been collecting apothecary. Is that what you call them? Apothecary?
The drawer things?
No, the glasses. So like
They're
on
gonna be
my
completely
candy
full,
bar.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
same notion.
Awesome.
So
Apothecary,
I
medical,
have somebody doing like cupcakes. I have somebody doing cookies, like personalized cookies. And then we have the candy apples, popcorn balls, caramel apples.
Jesus.
I already did my wedding cake. I know what it's going to be. And then for Aaron, I did a greens cake.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to be surprised. I did the Hulk.
You're on a podcast.
The
That's not a
Hulk
surprise.
peanut butter. He's not going to watch it. Anyway, so I'm doing the Hulk cake for him. And yeah, I'm super
Is it gonna bleed
excited.
green?
Nice.
I hope so.
That'd be
We're
Oh,
gonna
that would be
see.
so cool.
We're gonna see. I know that my cake, the wedding cake, is going to be awesome. I was gonna try and do the layers like different, and then the girl showed me what she could do, like when you cut it, like to make it Halloween. And I don't care about saving like the top layer. I'm like, I'm not that girl. I'm not gonna eat frozen cake a year from now. Just
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, but and I didn't want to do cake toppers or anything because I'm trying to tie in the whole Disney theme, like just weird little aspects of it. And oh looky.
She's literally a squirrel.
Squirrel. Squirrel. Sorry. Squirrel. Sorry. Anyway, so we're just going to have a candy apple. We're going to just take a bite of an apple.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's super cute. So just as an experiment for a
awesome.
podcast, I
Thank
want to
you.
hear you guys hash this out. This is like a fight between the couple, and I hope this goes as
Oh.
horribly and awfully as I expect it to. I want you to describe if you were going to redo your, what did we say it's called? Redoing your vows?
Vows, redoing your vows.
Yeah, so if you're going to like have a second wedding or something, can you guys figure out what, like real quick, what would it be like?
Huh.
I want to be in a Clearwater beach.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about that
Just
going.
by ourselves.
Yeah, on a beach by yourselves.
We haven't had a chance to take any vacations.
We've
Everything
never
we do is
done
work.
anything.
What kind of
So is there
food?
one.
Do you, I mean, all
I
vegan,
just
all
want
vegetarian?
vegetables.
You want vegetables?
I like vegetables and fruit, but she likes. I. What's weird is I'm a really good cook.
She is.
Oh.
Very good cook.
I'm a very
Well,
good
hell yeah.
cook. And I kind of usually can look at a menu and know what she'll like.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, that's useful.
I think most artists are good cooks. I
Yeah.
think cooking is.
It is a form
an
of
art.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
And
choice.
Knowing how to put
Not
things
only
together.
to
not
either
only
go
do you like know
automotive,
all the flavors,
culinary,
the taste, but
Right.
you can make
or
a plate look
arts.
beautiful.
I did
It is an art.
automotive, and I did arts later.
Wow.
So I know how to work on a car too.
Yeah, but are you cooking with like
Well,
car
that's a
grease,
skill.
like with your hands all dirty?
Right.
You're,
Oh, yeah.
you're
That's a
changing
skill.
out.
I'm like
parts.
I'm dirty. But yeah,
She got the
Clearwater,
black streaks
probably.
across her face.
Mhm. So who's wearing what? What are you wearing? Are you just wearing like your daily gear? Are you
Say
dressing up?
suits.
We're
Suits?
wearing ceramic
beach?
corsets.
Yeah, I'll
Some
wear,
nice
I'll wear
tailored
a
white
waist
suits,
cincher.
that'd be nice.
I'll wear a
Yeah.
waist cincher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hairstylist, makeup, none of that?
Fuck that shit.
Music?
Not on the beach, right?
I don't know if we're doing something small, probably just like we did.
Travel.
We haven't even thought about this type of thing.
Well, like even for our wedding, I just put a playlist together and push play.
Yeah.
Just because we were doing it on a tight budget. Like we had our wedding in less than $200.
My main goal the whole
mine's
day.
super tight, but I have to make this
Yeah.
like the wedding party from hell.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, like the Halloween wedding.
We also only had 2 weeks to plan, so it was like potluck and
I wanted to smash a cake in her face really bad. That's
did.
all I talked about.
I
the
thought
whole
about that. That's why we're gonna bite the apple because my husband is dressing up, so makeup.
yeah.
We
Oh no, I
to
had
be
makeup
simple.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I'm
smashing.
still gonna smash.
I had
it.
orange. It was orange.
Orange
Dress-
smear across your face.
My
Yeah.
niece had just graduated from culinary school for doing
Cake culinary.
cake.
That's awesome.
Desserts, and so she made our wedding cake. So
Wow.
I
And
just smashed it in her face.
so what flavor do you guys divide it? Do you have a particular favorite flavor?
She wants mint.
You
Okay,
say that so
I I
morose.
have an issue though. I can't taste sweet.
Oh.
Whenever they took my wisdom teeth out,
It's hard to cook.
Oh no.
Wow.
they nicked the nerve because one of my wisdom teeth grew into my sinus cavity. So, yeah, it was an extensive surgery to get my wisdom teeth out.
What? So do you taste savory? You taste everything but...
And I could taste some flavors, but without the
It's
sweetness.
tough cooking for her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Any other... So I don't
That's why she
taste...
doesn't let me cook. I can't taste all the flavors.
Cilantro tastes like soap to me.
Yes.
That's how she is.
You
A
have
lot
that
of people are
taste.
like that. Though.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
say 10% of the population
Yeah.
is like that.
So you don't like pico de mayo?
Oh no.
The gallo.
Oh my gosh, dude. You and I, let's go eat.
I love it. Some Mexican. I can eat Mexican food's gonna be the death of me. That's the shit that
Me
makes
too.
you fat.
That's a good way
I
to go.
love it. Oh, it's so
I
good.
freaking love
Right.
Mexican food. Oh my god.
Just sans
Not
pico.
so much Tex-Mex. Being from California, I miss some like.
Some true Mexican
Yes,
cooking.
I do.
Yeah,
Yes,
rice
I do.
beans,
I don't
a
need
good
all the
tortilla.
cheese and gravy, and
Me
I don't know
either.
what this shit is, like chili on your enchiladas. Like,
Yeah.
what?
What's up with that?
Yeah, exactly. Put some
I
like
agree.
red sauce, like some ranchero sauce. You know what I mean? Like,
Put some pico de mayo on top of it. I'll be happy.
yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
I'm all about the Tijuana street tacos. I know
Oh, yeah.
that like I've never tasted that meat before, and there's a distinct lack of street dogs in that central quarters where we would play in our bands and have the street tacos. So it might be dog, and I know that's like a running joke and probably
No.
a
That's
little
what
bit
my dad
racist,
would
but
not
like
say.
It's not.
no, that's probably not. But like it's so distinct. It's a flavor I've never had in my life, and that's all I crave. When somebody says Mexican, I picture particularly that.
No.
I don't want like
That's
the
probably some
cheese
seasoning
and
that is local to the
No.
region that
Yeah.
doesn't really get put out somewhere.
yeah.
A lot of it is fish. I mean, come on, Mexico, like,
Yeah.
Hey,
like
my
fish.
friend was like, it was dog that I was eating. My friend Phil.
Okay, I
he
can
went
see
down
that
there.
if you're in Vietnam or somewhere, like they say.
No,
like,
he was down in
monkey
Mexico.
brains,
He was
like,
eating dog.
cat.
Down in
you
Mexico,
know.
he was eating dog.
Well, I know some cultures do. My stepdad with the mayor of Oklahoma City back when they were doing maps, and I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this because it's a secret story. Somehow I won't tell all of it. Somehow
Don't tell all of
somehow they ended up doing the thing where you cut the live snake into the shot glass and like I don't know.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And so I guess I shouldn't tell this.
venom?
Let's just say the mayor of Oklahoma City and the assistant mayor of Oklahoma City did stuff that they weren't allowed to, and it definitely involved
Wow.
these crazy shots and fun. So I'll get him on the podcast. He's agreed already, so we'll get him in here, and I'll try and ease that story out of him. Maybe lubricate it out.
Yeah, lubricate. Here.
We
Keep giving him
Bottle
food.
Is that
lubrication.
like another hidden joke? Did this like go further after the snake?
And you told me
It's-
that you
no,
don't
it's a
like
real
to
thing, just
change stories in the middle of the blue, but we talked about dog, and then all of a sudden it's about a snake.
No, it's true. Well,
That's still about animals,
I was
though.
thinking about like weird animal
We're eating
things
weird
that
animals.
you've
Our little
ingested.
squirrel friend is still out there.
Squirrel.
He's just hanging out.
It hasn't got scared about the animal eating stories yet.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of where I was-
Squirrel's distinctive,
Have you had it? You've had squirrel?
No.
No.
but I know my friend Haley Luna has.
Oh yeah,
she-
Haley.
I
yeah.
know Haley Luna.
Yeah,
How do
she's
we
all
know?
over
We know Haley.
She's super famous
Oh.
around
She's-
here. I think
yeah.
everybody knows.
She's from
Haley Luna.
Medina.
Miss Luna.
Haley's actually
and
part of the
Jessica.
reason her and I got hooked up.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Whenever
She's
we
a
showed
little-
up, she was like,
She's a little girl, right? She has the place in Italy. And like,
Yeah, that's right.
Spain. Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah.
Spain. Okay.
And then a
The
couple
I've
of
met
houses
her a
around.
couple times.
the
from
little
Danny
girl.
and
I'm going to walk
Jessica.
up to her and say that, hey, little girl.
Well, because she's so sweet.
It's better than how I usually
like,
address
little.
her.
She's so sweet.
Uh
She doesn't know Haley.
I
Does
don't know
she?
her. No, she's like, she's just tiny. She's
Yeah.
tiny.
Ah, there you go.
Haley's good people.
She's like, you know you like my titties.
Oh, yeah?
How many titties?
She's like, because I put her in lots of courses. She owns a couple of mine.
Oh, there you go.
But it's funny. She's always like, you know you like them. I'm like, no, I don't.
I'm actually friends with her on Facebook, and I see her crazy posts once in a while. But I've only met her. So I met her at Danny and Jessica, like their wedding reception, and then I think it was Jessica's birthday or something. So I know her vaguely, but we're friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny.
She lived in my neighborhood, and I guess we're telling Haley Luna stories.
Okay.
That's this segment. We'll put a little flashing, Haley Luna.
Good morning, Haley Luna follows.
We do the Haley Luna segment.
She'd be like, you did this on purpose.
I just knew her from the neighborhood, the arts. All the artists in Paseo knew each other, and we'd run into each other and be at the same stuff, and on Facebook and MySpace. I think I even knew her from MySpace.
Right.
I'm not sure that that's the
By
truth,
the way,
but
I looked up
probably.
MySpace today because I
Did you
wanted to
really?
find some pictures that I can't find, and they're on my MySpace account.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
funny. I have a MySpace account too.
I haven't looked at it in 6 years. It said last time visit 6 years ago.
So I made the mistake, there were, 10 years ago or something, I don't remember how long ago, MySpace tried to become, the premier, VH1 or MTV
Music,
online. Right.
yeah.
And so they sent me, I think, and I think it probably went to everybody's spam box, but I found it, and it said, because I had some music up, convert your page to your
A
band
music page.
thing. Right.
Right.
And I did that, and then I lost all of my photos when I did that. So, do you know how long we curated our MySpace photos?
I know.
Right.
We reinvented how people take selfies back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Well, and when they first
And now
started, you
it's
had to put it on
gone.
a photo bucket or something, and then tag
yeah.
it's too bad. I wish I could
write a
go
little
back.
code to make it all pull
Actually,
over.
it's probably not too bad. It's probably my saving grace, I bet.
Yeah.
Right.
Things that you didn't want to see ever again. And your thing's gone.
That's okay. Well, we have the audio going. We'll
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
He's getting creative with.
It's okay
Visual
because
stuff.
I always kept looking at myself over there, and I was trying not to. And I don't think that I'm fat, but in the camera.
Oh,
it's
stop it.
horrible.
No.
Stop
You're
it.
definitely not.
Fat and white.
Can we
we're
share campfire stories about, let's not name names. Can we share campfire stories about incidents with artists? I named one where we had a party in Norman, and it was for a festival thing we had put on, and two people showed up and had sex in the bathroom for a couple hours, and I think everybody in Oklahoma City knows them, but we're not going to go into
there was only one
specifics
bathroom.
and
Yeah,
names.
gotta-
There was only one
gotta include
bathroom.
that
Right, there was only one bathroom
In a porta potty?
No, it was like a
that
double
would be
wide. It was a
nasty.
double wide that was
Yeah,
built into a
I know.
home.
I was like, ugh, a porta potty. Ugh. Could you imagine that? I'd be like the whole roll
You
of
have to be
toilet
on
paper.
some really
Oh,
good drugs
yeah.
to fucking
Be
there.
tripping your
I mean, come
ass
on.
off.
Any other stories? Anybody have some?
I'm sure it's happened.
And funny stuff like
Well,
somebody
we-
falling over drunk or something.
Well, we had Carnality Ball. Carnality Ball in my old studio there off of Chartel and between 24th and 23rd Street. We had some crazy. Oh my gosh, that place was packed out. And I remember the bathroom. It was you could hear people. And then whenever we went to the Magnolia Building, people were having sex in the stairs. And I remember there was these two lesbian chicks making out and having sex in the stairs. And I was like, you guys gotta leave. And one of them was like, I'm gonna kick your ass. I was like, huh.
Really? Security.
And I was like, security, and security, it was almost like carried her out by her shirt.
Oh my God.
And I was like, boom!
I got
I'm the head of the show, bitch.
Wrong person to pick on.
Yeah, don't be picking on me.
Yeah.
That was great.
I don't know.
You don't have any weird stories? Of course you do.
Just wine and palate?
No.
We now have this cold